Hello amazing leaders, and welcome to day 25 of the 90-day challenge. How are you getting on with your challenges? Have you set something for yourself yet that is an amazing 90-day challenge to really push you out of your comfort zone, to challenge you to do something different than you would have done without listening to these podcasts or to this live that you're watching now? Today I've got 3 simple words and then 3 simple points around those as well. The 3 simple words are: watch your words. And I want us to look at our language today, what we say, what we don't say, and how we say things. The 3 simple points that I want to talk about is: do you swear? Do you swear under your breath? Do you swear openly? Do you swear at other people? Do you swear at yourself? It's interesting, I don't swear very much at all. I try not to swear at work or around the girls or anything like that, obviously. But it's interesting just how many people don't even think of it as swearing now. It has just become such a part of our modern everyday language. And that saddens me really, because there's so many amazing words out there that we could use. And to use a swear word in replacement of another amazing word is a little bit less powerful, I feel. So I'm going to encourage you just to do something different. You may or may not have noticed I don't swear in any of these podcasts or any of the lives or any of the social media that I do, and I do that for a reason. One is because it's just not me, I don't do that. But 2 is I want this to be content that anybody can listen to. And also that you can listen to it in the car, knowing that if there are children around, that there's not going to be a word that comes out that they shouldn't hear. Because I think that's really important, and it shocks me to some days that when I'm listening to something and then out of the blue a swear word comes in to a podcast that I may have been listening to for a while, or an audio book, and then all of a sudden it just hits you. And fortunately the girls aren't often around when I'm doing that, so they don't get to hear that. But I just wanted to confirm with you that that's not going to happen on any of my podcasts or any of the social media sites that I'm going to be championing for people to listen to and to watch. And I want to challenge you with the same thing. Can you try not to swear as much? Can you try to reduce that down if you are somebody that swears? And if you're not, then fantastic, just keep it up and try and encourage others around you not to do that. It's interesting that we've all got kind of a filter in us of what we can and can't say around certain people. And I often use this as the grandparents filter, that most grandchildren won't swear around their grandparents. And I say most because that's not always the case. So it's something that we can do. We just have to train our brains to be able to say certain things in certain situations. The same with young children as well. Again, most people try not to swear around young people as well. So if that's something that you don't struggle with, then that's fine. But what about the other people around you? Do they have those same standards that you have? And if not, how are you going to encourage them to say, you know what, I was listening to this thing today, I'm going to send it to you, you have a listen and see whether it rings true with you or not, and maybe you can help each other out there as well. The second point that I'm going to talk about now is 2 different words, very different words, but actually kind of have the same feelings around them. And I don't know about you, but what do you feel when someone says to you, you've got to give a presentation or anything to do around public speaking or something like that? You've got to go on stage and present something and talk to lots of people. Most of us will feel one of 2 things, or maybe even both, I guess. But most of us will either feel anxious, which is the most popular one, or excited. Now, both of those have the same kind of result that happened from them. If we're anxious or excited, our heart rate increases, our palms might get sweaty, we might just feel a little bit tense, and it's that kind of thing. So the same thing, whether you're anxious or excited, you have those same feelings. However, if you go onto stage or if you start your presentation feeling anxious, you're never going to give as good a presentation or talk as if you feel excited. And all you have to do is just tell yourself you're feeling excited, you're excited to be on stage, you're excited to give this presentation, whatever it might be, but just set it up so that you have the best possible outcome and not the worst possible one. So 2 different words in that situation there that have very different meanings and very different psychological thoughts about what we feel and how we act in that situation as well. And there's lots of different words that have those kind of similar feelings but might mean polar opposites as well. So the last point I want to talk to you about, and this one is really important, is that as amazing leaders, there is great power in your words. Don't underestimate what other people hear when you speak. And that's something that I struggle with a bit, and I guess others do as well, is that we don't often feel that our words are very powerful. But you've got to think of it on who's receiving it. Where are they, within your organisation or within your circle of friends or whoever it might be? What are you trying to convey to them? So spend some time just thinking about what they're going to hear rather than what you're necessarily saying. And you might just need to back it up, or you might need to add something else to it as well. But don't think that your words mean nothing. Don't think that people aren't listening, because even if they may not look as though they're listening, then they often are as well. So I find that often less is more. The less you say in those types of situations, the clearer and more precise it can be, so that your message gets across and it's harder for people to misinterpret it, if that makes sense. And just spend some time thinking about what you want to say before you go into those situations, so that the power that you have, whether you like it or not, is portrayed in the best possible way, and that the output, the end in mind that you want, the results, comes from what you say as well. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you'll have an amazing day, and remember, why be average when you can be amazing?